25th July 1980, evening session continues.
This is actually for knowledge, there is no for with it. But when you want to communicate, you will always have recourse to a concept. And conceptually you will sketch it. And then only you present it or communicate it to the next man. But actually knowledge has no for. For any knowledge, there is no for. For any knowledge, it has no for and no visibility, no sight. It is how. ताप आला तरी थर्मामीटर 100 पर्यंत गेला, पण 100चं माप दिलं त्या. आता ताप जास्त आहे म्हणजे मग थर्मामीटर पाऱ्यावर सांगतो. This is actually, the way we understand something, that you cannot communicate. You take the help of something else. For example, I told him, when we have high temperature, you feel the heat, but you convert it into temperature. The movement of mercury. That movement of mercury proportionate to the body, heat of the body, you say. But you cannot directly see about the heat. Which abidance in the self, you see. There is no experiencing or no feeling at all. It's a non-experiential state.
त्याचा प्रश्न असा होता की आपण फक्त जाणीवेची एकरूप होऊन राहिले असताना विचार जे वाहतात ते आत्मज्ञान झाल्यानंतरच थांबणार का मध्ये
आत्मज्ञानाला वाढणार पण त्याला तुला म्हणला राहणार. दिसले मात्र आनंद गेले असं करून नव्हे. असतं पण दिसतच नाही. सत्य असतो पण दिसत नाही. नित्याने भागते ते अनित्य, ते सत्य नाही. Whatever tangible, perceptible, observable is non-eternal, temporary. Abidance in the self cannot be felt, cannot be experienced. It seems pure as a question.
No, I mean,
as you understood it. Abidance in the self, whether there will be flow of thoughts. So Maharaj said, with self-realization, with self-abidance, one knows that one is not thoughts. So one is least concerned with the thoughts, let it flow.
so is that like this or not?
Not least concerned. The thoughts are merely flowing out. Because that is the nature of the beingness, consciousness. A jnani, there is no quality of beingness at all. Beingness is a quality by which one knows one is. I amness is a quality. For jnani, that I amness is not there. Only with the help of beingness or consciousness that I amness is felt. There is no relative term left. He comes down out of what? कल्पनाची माहिती सगळी आहे. त्यांना माहिती जेवढी आहे तेवढी कल्पनेची आहे. कल्पना तू काय त्याची माहिती आहे. तूच सांग. जन्माच्या आदल्या दिवशी तुला काय आठवण आली? Apply to yourself, he says. One day prior to your birth, let me have some information about you.
Prior to my birth?
Yeah. a day prior to your birth.
I cannot give any information.
काही बातमी देऊ शकत नाही.
तीच खरी आहे.
That is a fact.
जन्म झाल्यानंतर बातमी आली आहे तुमचा तमाशा.
And with the so-called birth, this information I amness which is appeared is all a fraud. It's all a mischief.
याचा सांगण्याचा विचारण्याचा असा उद्देश होता की
पण घेणारच नाही. आता माझं जाते घेणारच नाही. आता तुला घर जन्माच्या आमदानी झाली आपण जन्मसेवा आमदार होताच की नाही. आमदार लोक होताच की नाही जन्माच्या स्वतःच्या आठवणीचा. नाही बरोबर मला माहिती करू.
My very nature is to talk in riddles, not straightforward replies. That is my nature is it. I will never reply with straight. I will force you to ponder over what I am saying. Don't spoon feed it. In short, he says, all our worldly activities are going on hearsay, on the talks of others. What the other people have given is the message.
त्या शब्दामध्ये वाचून अवलंबून चाललेलं आहे. फार्मर रंग म्हणजे नाट्याला पाचा बंद नाही, ज्ञानाला पाचा बंद आहे. काल्पनिक मुक्त आहे.
All this so-called knowledge in the realm of consciousness is the play of concepts.
हो त्याला बोलून नाही माहिती. बोलून नाही गाण्याचं विज्ञान झालं ना, ते विज्ञान आहे.
My talks of a very high class, highest class we are attended. Earlier people have listened to the talks, but they were of lower class. So when you go and meet those persons who attended the previous classes, lower classes, you will make them shut their mouths. And when you want to hold it on to it, you will not be able to hold it on. It is something like that. No effortless state.
प्राधान्य काय गुरुचे वचन पाहिजे. आता गुरुचं वचन काय आहे, तुमचं रोज ज्ञान वापरतो तो ज्ञानदेव आहे.
तो ज्ञानदेव.
तू कोणत्या परिस्थितीत जे ज्ञान वापरतो तो ज्ञानदेव आहे. हे गुरुच्या वचन लक्षात ठेव. ते ज्ञानाचे म्हणजे त्याचं म्हणतो. म्हणजे मी बोलतो त्याचा मुख्य समाय बोलत नाही.
This is very important. It is in common parlance here, when they go to a guru. What is the most important thing? Follow the guru's word implicitly, very faithfully. That is, and what are the words of the guru? The words of the guru are these. You are employing your knowledge I am. Because you have the knowledge I am, all the activities are being carried out. You are that knowledge I am. That knowledge I am is the very God or the very King of all knowledges. Of all knowledges, you are the chief knowledge. The primary knowledge you are. You be devoted to that only. So if you abide in that knowledge I am, you will be able to speak much better than your guru also. This is what he says. That's what a guru tells his disciples. हो
तो धारण मग्न तो धारण तोही करूची अत्यंत ज्ञानाची धारणा मजबूत व्हायची मजबूत म्हणजे मजबूत व्हायची असं नसं ना तुमचं वचन त्याचा अर्थ तर जेव्हा लांबचं नाही आहे तुझ्या वापरून हक्का मुक्ता ते ज्ञान मिळवायचं
very basis, very foundation is the knowledge I am. So he describes it. He says in their villages, when they want to build a house, they first erect a very sturdy pole. On that pole, all connections are made of rafters. And then the house is built on that. But what is the basic principle? The central sturdy post. Post you follow? Wooden timber post. Like that, this you are, what is I amness is a sturdy post. Hold on to that only. On that only everything depends. And you are that. That is your primary capital or primary knowledge. Hold on to that only. Then everything will happen about it.
परंतु तो आयचं जे ज्ञान वापरतो तो ज्ञानेश्वर आहे त्यांच्या जे अर्थ दिसणार नाही त्याचे अनंत रूप आहे तर मुख्यतः धारण म्हणून जो काय आहे ज्ञान आहे.
He says, don't forget that knowledge I am. It's very simple because you are that only. Without that you cannot be. It is very simple. You need not go elsewhere somewhere to find it out. You are that only. With firm faith in that you proceed. Remember always that. Let the situation be any severe situation, any difficulty. Hold on to that. The problems will be solved. All the sprouting of four aspects of language comes out of that only. All this manifest world with all multiplicity is the expression of your beingness, your I amness, your primary capital. Don't forget that.
परापक्षत्री मध्यमावर कधी चारही वाढीत असलेल्या त्या ज्ञानेश्वराचे आहेत चारी खाली त्याचे आहेत चारी वेळ त्याचेच आहेत त्याचं कर्म आहे.
The Vedas are the highest scriptures of Hindus. They have sprouted from the knowledge you are, I am. Parapashanti Madhyama Vaikhari. These are the four aspects of language. They also come out of that only.
This is 1980 morning.
26th July 1980, morning session begins.
आजाला काम बरोबर दुखाला दुखल्याने येते ती बुद्धी नाही येते अनुभव कसा येते अनुभव येणार तो जाणीवर येतो दुखावा दुखल्याने येतो हा हो दुखल्याचा अनुभव मी दुखाला तसं ज्याच्यामध्ये पुढे ऐकल्यानंतर तिथे जाणार तिथे तुमचे जे तुम्हाला अनुभव येतो चैतन्याचं चैतन्याचे बुद्धीचे नाही त्याचे कसे प्रोडक्टिव्हिटी कसे प्रोडक्ट जणू वाढी जाते बुद्धीचा अनुभव सुखाचा अनुभव त्याच्या बुद्धीचा नाही, सुखाचा अनुभव दुःखाने होतो. जसं आता तुमची जी लेवल झाली आहे त्याच्या पुढचे तुम्हाला जे अनुभव घ्यायचे ते चैतन्याचे घ्यायला आणखी आणखी प्रगती आणखी प्रगती आणखी प्रगती पण ती सांगता येणार नाही मुखान. तो विषय नव्हतो. सांगा ते.
Maharaj says, at a certain level, the illness or the experience of illness is something which is contained in the illness itself. It is contained in the illness itself. Later on, one knows that that illness is an experience, is a movement in consciousness. Then later on, the experience becomes that this consciousness is not consciousness of mine or yours, but the overall consciousness. That is the gradual, the experience becomes rarer and rarer from the point of view of the consciousness. It becomes rarer than space.
त्यांचे प्रगतीचा अनुभव काया चालत काय चालवणारी चैतन्याचा प्रगतीचा अनुभव होतो. पूर्णाने सांगतो पण सगळ्यांना येणार नाही. ज्याच्या आम्ही सांगितलं लेवल 3 वर त्याचं व्यक्तित्व गेलो. व्यक्तित्व म्हणजे ज्ञान आहे. ज्ञान हा गुण आहे. त्याच्याकडून प्राण आहे. प्राण चेतन आहे आणि गुण हा त्याचा प्रत्यय आहे. चैतन्याचा प्रत्येक प्राणाचा काय गुण आहे आणि त्याची कशी काही काय प्रगती होते लाभ हे त्याला असं त्याच्यामध्ये तो निमग्न असतो. आणि तेच त्यांची लेवल गेली नाही आणि बाकी हिंडणे फिरण्यानंतर त्याच्यात दूर झाला.
This is the power which makes the body move or any action is with the prana, that is the life force. And the life force is the acting principle. And the consciousness is the witnessing principle. When this knowledge gets rarer and rarer, and it gets settles, then the individuality is lost, and the consciousness becomes the overall consciousness. Individuality is not there at all. Whatever is an experience by itself, which is merely witness. And this is later on further, when the individuality is totally lost, that experience will remain as the experience itself will be so ephemeral that it will be impossible to put it into words. If you want to tell it to someone, you will not be able to. Yes, because there will be extremely little objective about it. You can describe something only if it's an object. But when it goes beyond the stage of objectivity, when there is very little objectivity, then the experience goes beyond the point of description. And the overall experience is merely something happening of which you are purely the witness. You go beyond the fact that you are the witness, and only the witnessing takes place.
त्याला जाणवतो प्रगती जी होत राहते त्याला जाणवतो. तो जाणून जातो.
What I said last, Maharaj repeats that it is not something that one experiences or one witnesses, but the experiencing or the functioning or the witnessing as a functioning remains. not the functioner or not even merely the functioning.
स्वरूप ज्ञानाचा अनुभव प्रकाश होत असतो. बुद्धी सांगितलं आणि आतमध्ये प्राण आणि गुण आतमध्ये आहे का?
प्राण आणि गुण.
प्राणी सगळं हात चैतन्य आणि ते गुण हे सगळे सात्विक होतो. आणि ही प्रगती आणखी आणखी वाढत असते. ही लेवल तयार झाली सर नाही म्हणजे बाकीच्या इकडे वाढ करून त्याच्यामध्ये टाइम पास करतात हे सुद्धा बघत झाले.
Maharaj, one of his rare notes of it, he is describing something which is generally doesn't. He is telling us the progress of this knowing the consciousness, of the progress of the consciousness. He said there is no individual in anything. So he said, there is a level where you understand that it is the consciousness which is working and not the entity. And that each form, this is the force, the effective force, the breath or the prana which is working. At that level, some people who cannot go beyond that level. In which case they are there, at that level, they still have that restlessness. Because consciousness itself is movement, it is restlessness. So at that level you feel like going somewhere, doing something, even in spiritual matters. Reading something or doing something, listening to someone, going to one man, going to another. But when this knowledge settles down and the individuality is lost, then the consciousness that is witnessing is not the individual consciousness, but the overall consciousness. This is Vyakti, the individuality is lost, the Vyakta is there. And further, even further, then you are not able to describe what experience it is, but you merely witness whatever takes place in the world. That is the functioning in the world, the movement in the world purely as functioning. And that you are as much a part of it as anything else, any other creature or any other person. The total functioning is being witnessed, generally, without any specific identification.
काय झालं ते राग आणि ज्ञान ज्ञान लागून प्राणी सर्व हात. आता त्या प्राण आणि गुणाचे हालचाल कसे होते, प्रगती कशी होते ते त्याला कळत असत. पण ते बोलता येणार नाही, पण त्याचे त्याला ते प्रगती जाणवत असतो प्राण आणि गुणाचे. आणि आता आपण प्राण आणि गुणावेगळा आपण नाही हे नक्की घालायचं. प्राण आणि गुण वेगळा आपण नाही. आपण असं ते प्राण आहे, गुण आहे आणि जगाला कसं ती वाच आहे, ती भाषा आहे जेव्हा बोलण्याची. पण गुण आणि प्राण जेवढे त्याच्या चित्रकारांमध्ये असतो त्याला ज्ञान झालं.
Ultimately, when this knowledge settles down firmly and there is great conviction that the activating principle, the active principle which makes any form work or do whatever its nature is the breath, the life force, the prana. And the consciousness is merely the witnessing principle. When this knowledge becomes really steady, then the witnessing takes place of the progress of this combination of life force and the knowledge, or the I-amness, or the beingness. The union of the two, how it progresses, is merely being witnessed as from a considerable distance. And only the functioning of the two remains, and that is even the witnessing also is part of the function. So it's impossible to describe it, but that experience becomes rarer and rarer, and only the functioning remains.
आणि चेतन क्रिया जगत कुठे चालते जसं याच्यामध्ये गॅस आहे. कसं कायारूपी अन्नामध्ये कायारूपी अन्नाच्या रसामध्ये तो द्यायचा आहे.
हो हो
तो द्यायची हालचाल म्हणजे प्राणाची हालचाल. कायारूपी अन्नामध्ये अन्ना रसामध्ये द्यायचा आहे पावर त्याची हालचाल. आणि तिथे काया रूपामध्ये असलेलं त्रास आणि हे दोघंच असतं त्याच्यात. तिथली म्हणजे ती वैखरी भाषा मन
हो
आणि ती कल्पना येतात का हे जर त्याचा स्थिर झाल्यानंतर त्यावर त्याच्या प्राण चैतन्य आणि गुण चैतन्य म्हणजे ज्ञान चैतन्य त्याचे कसे काय प्रकार काय काय होत असतात ते सगळं त्याला अनुभव येत असतात. पण ते वाचन संकलन नाही आणि त्याचा त्याला आनंद होतो. पण ही बरोबर तयार होतो मी म्हणतो ही शाळेमध्ये प्राण आणि ज्ञान हे एवढंच मी आहे. शाळेमध्ये असतील माझा काय आहे प्राण आणि प्राणाचं खाद्य अन्नाचा रस. अन्नाचा रस व्यवस्थित असं आहे सुधार नाही मिळवून त्याच्यात म्हणजे परंतु अन्नाच्या रसामध्येच हा प्राण आहे. काय जोडल्यानंतर अन्न रस टाकून दिला मग पुढे 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 त्यांचे गमनागमन जाणवत नाही. आपण जा.
So you see, what is to be understood? Is it, at what level does this functioning get merely witnessed as general? So he says, one has to understand. One has to understand what? He says the mechanism of the appearance. He says now this is the body, that is the physical body. He is analyzing this psychosomatic mechanism. First there is the body. And the body is purely something made of the 5 elements. It's as physical as any other. Then what are the active principles? The active principles are the prana and the guna. That is the life force, the breath, and the knowledge I am. This is the combination which depends on the essence of the body, that is the food for this combination of life force and the being. So long as this essence of the food essence, that is the body, so long as the food essence is in reasonable balance, there is good health. If that balance is disturbed, there is ill health. And if the balance is disturbed to an extent where the life force and the knowledge cannot exist, then we say that man is dead, or that individual form is dead. Now, this is to be understood with such conviction that the working of this one particular psychosomatic mechanism is viewed without any difference from any other mechanism. And the entire then becomes the mere functioning, the total functioning. And there is no individual identification.
अमुक ज्ञान जाणायचं हे सगळं येत आहे त्या संतोषांना आहे त्याचं काय कमती होत होतं हे काल जरी सांगितलं ना संध्याकाळी सगळं काय तुम्ही ऐकलं तरी पण तुमचा आत्मा म्हणजे ज्ञानेश्वर आणि तो लक्षात ठेवा. प्राण आणि ज्ञान मिळून आत्मा आहे. प्राण आणि ज्ञान मिळून आत्मा आहे. प्राण ज्ञान म्हणजे ज्ञान आणि ईश्वर आहे, ज्ञानेश्वर आहे. हे आठवण ठेवा, हे तुमचं घ्या.
This is what should one keep in mind. Everyone wants to know what am I to keep in mind. He says, keep in mind that you are the conscious presence consisting of the combination of this prana and guna. that is the life force and the knowledge I am. This combination that constituting the conscious presence, that is what you are. So long as this body works. Without life force there is no being. And without beingness, there is no sense of being alive. Body. So this combination is so intimate that it is really one, and only for the purpose of communication this analysis is made. On this particular principle that is mentioned this morning, if you have any questions, ask.
Every evening we discuss the 1 o'clock, and Maharaj is exactly already finished. He's picking up again in the morning.
Maharaj says the end is always where the beginning took place. That is, the end is where the source is. The setting is where the rising took place. And the rising and setting both are of the same principle.
लोकांना ज्ञान निवेदन करू शकत नाही. पण ही जात अशी घालायची आहे तर यांच्याकडे ते व्यवहाराचं ज्ञान खोलून दाखवायचे कसं होणार मला ते तुमचं तुम्ही
Maharaj
सर्व ज्ञान आहे.
he has reached a certain stage now where he finds it impossible to convey his knowledge to others. Because as I understand what he said, because we consider ourselves an object, and as an object we want reality also as an object. And he said that is impossible.
इकडे तुम्ही आपल्या भाव रूपाला व्यवहार आहे आणि मी आता फुलायला लागले तिथे नामरूप नाही ज्ञान.
We, however much we think we have got rid of it, we have not got rid of our identification with the name and form. And what he has told us this morning is, you are something totally different from this name and form. And that is, even so long as the name and form is there, what you are is the principle within that mechanism, and that is the life force and the beingness both together. That is constituted the conscious presence, that is what you are, and not the physical body.
ते बोलतो या स्थितीवर बोलतो आम्ही म्हणतो हा विषय नष्ट झालेला आहे.
Is it from the center from which he is talking, the center from which he is perceiving the whole principle? He said there the freedom, there is neither freedom nor being bound. There is a total absence of both being bound as well as liberation. There can be liberation only if there is lack of freedom. When there is no lack of freedom, when you are already free, where can be question of liberation? So therefore it says, from his point of view, there is neither liberation nor being bound.
राग आणि राग एवढंच आहे त्याबरोबर नाही त्याशिवाय काय आत्ता सांप्रदायामध्ये राग आणि ज्ञान एवढंच आहे शिवाय ज्ञान काय म्हणजे प्राण आणि ज्ञान तो जेव्हा मुक्त होते
So long as the body is there, I am that conscious presence which is the life force and the beingness together. So long as the body is there. When the body is not there, my original state is something prior to both this life force and the knowledge I am. But so long as the body is there, this is my consciousness, this is my consciousness.
तुमका लक्ष हुई बाबू काया रही जादू मुक्को करतो बरोबर घडे शिकवा पण लक्ष वेळेस काया रहित नाही म्हणजे काया रहित म्हणजे वाळ आणि गुण वाळ आणि गुण त्याला आकार नाही पण ते व्यक्ती नाही शुद्ध मोकळं व्यक्त आहे उजाड उजाडलेले उजाड
That state where one is identified as himself, so long as the body is there, with this conscious presence, then the identification with the body must be totally lost, with the greatest of conviction. Then only we can identify ourselves with the conscious presence. Limited identity lost, then it is like losing one single light or lamp, and when the entire light is, one identifies oneself not with one light, but the total light.
ज्याला कळलं त्याला काय हवंय त्याला कशाची गरज आहे राग आणि एवढंच आत्मरूप आहे त्याला काय हवंय
Maharaj says, once we have this capsule, knowledge in a capsule, what more does one want? And that is, that so long as the body is there, I am the conscious presence. That is, the knowledge I am and the light. Once I have this firm conviction, what do I need anything else for? What need is there for any other?
आत्मस्वरूप जसा उद्योग झाला जणू व्यवहार करतोय राग आहे म्हणून त्याला हानी लावायचा काय अनुभव येईल का तत्वाचा हानी लावायचा काय अनुभव येईल का
Once there is this firm conviction that one is this conscious presence and not the body, and then even if he carries on his normal work all the time, at any place, even if he is a king, will he have any concerns with profit or loss, or something to be gained or something to be lost? The basic premise is, when he has this firm conviction that he is not the body but the conscious presence, and with this firm knowledge, he is the king.
संतोष दर्शक
And this is the word king is used merely to denote, and for communication purposes, that is the height of happiness, but it means nothing.
तो राजा का दुकानदार जेव काढणे बघतो का जेव नाही बघतो
Indeed, this is, once this conviction is there, then there is no question of his being a pauper or a prince or a pauper or anything.
उद्भवलेला सौम्य ज्ञानाला जे सौम्य आलेलं आहे नाना प्रकार तो स्वरूपामध्ये स्वरूपाकार झाल्यानंतर तो अनुभव येतो त्याच्यातून लोकांनी निर्माण केलेलं आहे
Once this Once this picture becomes clear, and there is no longer any identification with, so long as, and when there is no longer any limited identification, then for purposes of communication or in the world behavior, whatever names or labels have been assigned to any manifestation, any objects or any experiences, that is understood as merely the name, and no significance is attached to any label, any name.
तर आपण असं माहिती पडलं पण जगात त्याची किती संज्ञाने सिच्युएशन आहे असं त्याला माहिती पडलं तर संज्ञा सिच्युएशन येणं किती नामक जे चौथरा लाने लाखो लाने बरोबर आहे.
Actually, the absolute is not aware of its being, and yet, in the name of God, how many labels have been attached to it?
प्राण चैतन्य आणि ज्ञान चैतन्य याचा फक्त जाणता त्याच्याशी त्यांचा संपर्क काय
and the jnani is merely aware of this combination of life force and knowledge, but he is not involved in any way and there is no direct relation.
शब्दाचा शब्दाचा उपयोग करा शब्दाचा उपयोग करायचा
If you want to make use of words purely for the sake of communication, do so.
Heard the teaching of the Vedanta, Advaita, and I've thought about it. For how many years have you been interested in how long years? 20 years or something. I haven't put the right question, I want to say. And it comes up to a feeling of anxiety and a strong desire that the search in general, in all these aspects, must come to an end. And I feel my travel to India, to Maharaj, and I hope that he may help me to make an end of this search.
So this worship,
I want to get rid of all kind of illusion, of wrong-headed ideas.
आतापर्यंत असलेला म्हणजे सोडण्याचा कल्प
समज त्याला समजून शकतो.
Now to know whether you can communicate to him what you have understood. Herman.
Urge for children automatically lead him to.
त्यांनी सांगितलं मला तुझी आर्तताच तुला प्रश्नाची उत्तरं देईल.
Very strong.
ती आर्तता इतकी आहे त्याच्यामध्ये की ती आर्तताच तुला सगळी सुटका करेल तुझी.
And he came in, my God.
हा म्हणतो त्याच्या डोळ्यात असं होती येतानाच त्याने बघितलं मी की ते जरा वेळ लागेल पण हा म्हणतो तसं होणं शक्य नाही वेळ लागणार नाही तात्काळ होईल असं अशी त्याला खात्री वाटते जे व्हायचं ते तात्काळ चटकन होईल.
And I don't believe in processes that take time, that takes discipline, that take. I've done all that. I've not come for that to here.
म्हणतो काय करायचं
कसं होत नाही ते माझं पडलं
Maharaj says the basic fact that you are not the body, that must be absolutely clear to you by now.
संपला वाटतो प्राणा गेला तो व्यवहार होतोय तो प्राणा गेला प्राण आणि मन हे जवळ पक्षी आहे आणि तिथे ज्ञान हा भगवान तिथे जाणतोय ज्ञानाबरोबर ज्ञान आणि मानदेवा जाणते तिथे तो आपल्याला आयामची मानस म्हणला आहे हा अडथळा आहे.
And I say, now you are working in the world, whatever your normal work is, and you think you are doing that work. But what is really happening is that within the body, this life force, the breath, that itself, when it comes out in thoughts or words, is the mind. So it is this prana mind, this life force mind, which is the acting principle. So it is that is acting. And this and the consciousness, this beingness, that which gives you the sense of being, that merely witnesses. That is the God which witnesses this life force and the mind working. That the consciousness does not interfere. It merely watches. But the trouble, why you have, the reason why you have all the unhappiness is because of the original fact that he told you, because you think it is you who is working. That is why you have this unhappiness and the trouble.
I realized that there's nothing to say about it. Every plain concept, it's on the field of the mind.
26th July 1980, morning session continued.
It's there.
मी काही म्हटलं तरी ती जाणीवेतून कल्पनाच होणार, तेव्हा मला काही बोलायचं नाही.
जेव्हा तू येणारा अनुभव तेवढं कल्पनात्मक आहे तुला पटवायला.
Since you say that whatever you say will be a concept arising out of your consciousness, then he says this concept that you are and the world are both, they are both a conceptual creation. You must know that.
How does this knowledge work? I mean, you tell me words, and there comes a sense of understanding, yes? I mean, is this a mental process? Is there still a faculty witnessing this, all this? Or
Let's stop here.
कल्पनेने मन समज.
He says the mind understands because of the concept.
it's an automatism? Then it is an automatic. Then it is an automat. See?
दोन्ही एकदमच होतं म्हणजे.
होय बरोबर कल्पना अधिष्ठान आहे.
He says that is true. The mind interprets whatever the concept is, which concept which arises in the consciousness. But he says the base is consciousness, on which a concept arises as a movement.
So, what's there actually to a thing? Because this consciousness you cannot change, you cannot touch, you cannot breathe by words, you cannot actualize. It's there all the time, right now. Okay. So where are we here for?
मग ही जाणीव तिथे आहे, तिला घालून देता येत नाही, आणखीन आणा. He says, what is to be done with it?
No. You cannot. Doing belongs to this mind. That's clear. It's here. Happens here. So that's what I asked. There's a search going on. It's like an automatism. I see clearly now. It's an automatism. I'm coming here, going to India. It's going on. I want this search. I want this mind surrendered to the fact of consciousness.
You understand? तुम्ही हे मी इथं आलो हिंदुस्थान,
परंतु अगोदर तू असल्याची कल्पना आहे ना, तू असल्याची कल्पना नसताना हे काय आहे काय.
he says all this conceptualization, objectivization, all that has been taking place only after the original concept that you are. This consciousness arose, is it not? So he says, what was the position before this consciousness arose? At that time, did you have any concepts? Did you have any needs? Before this consciousness arose?
By deep sleep.
काय झोपेमध्ये झोपेसारखी अवस्था म्हणून गाठ झोपेसारखी अवस्था म्हणतो ही गाडी सारखी नाही झोपेसारखी
जर कल्पना आली आहे त्याची ती बरोबर आहे पण ते कल्पना
You say this concept that you have that it is something like deep sleep is not incorrect, but it is still a concept. And your original state before this concept, before this consciousness arose, is beyond the concept, is prior to any concept.
But which is the fact already now.
मग आत्ता काय आहे आत्ता या क्षणाला काय आहे
ती जागा जाण्याची नसली कल्पना आहे
This is at this moment that you are awake. Please follow it, please. At this moment that you are awake is itself a concept.
I don't get this.
That's
Wat een bent,
Yes, you are here. You are awake. You are here in India.
Yeah.
That itself is a concept. Understand that?
It's a movie of concepts.
I mean, please just listen.
Right. No.
Don't comment on it. You see, that you are awake is itself a concept. Let it sink.
कसं आहे कल्पना नसताना तुझा अनुभव काय आहे
Maharaj says, go back to the source. Before this concept of beingness, before this concept, I am, arose at the very beginning. What was your condition? What was your original state? First thought.
Like a source.
So before that first thought ever came, what was your state? What was your original state?
Well, dat is wat wel weg.
सांगता येते ते सांगता
येते ते पावसामध्ये घेतला पाण्यासारखा
He says that which you don't know, that original state, is the right state.
That's the right.
Everything that comes after this consciousness is like a dose of salt.
But what's
Like a dose of salt, like a purgative.
I don't understand it either.
like a drink.
वाकाव कागद
That in fact, that is it's an excrement. Like a flow of excrement after you have found the laxative. That is totally useless. Whatever has come after this consciousness is worthless. As worthless as the experiment. The real thing and the genuine thing is that state before this consciousness came on you.
Some right bullshit.
So I mean, search. Oh, the search is over. The search is over. पण ते आता करणार काय हे समजलं पुढे काय करणार
कसं तिथं अडकतं फेकून द्यायचं गव्हा तिथं फेकून द्यायचं गव्हाचं काय नाही मग फेकून द्यायचं
So he said, throw away every experience, every thought, everything that happens after this consciousness has come. Throw it away. And other than throwing it away as useless, there is nothing to be done. There is nothing to be done beyond this firm understanding of it. And this understanding to become more and more absorbed in. Being more and absorbed in this understanding, other than that, there is nothing to it.
Because it's the growth process. Gradual, you talk about becoming more and more absorbing. Do you say that this...
Or, no, let that understanding absorb itself.
Right.
For you, there is nothing to be done.
There's nothing to be done.
Oh. So you see, today's session we started at 10 o'clock. Maharaj,
Very gentle touch.
26th July 1980, evening session begins.
one gentle touch with everything I relate to. Is flowing always more and more towards of beingness, of consciousness. Before it was always going outside.
Your identification with the body, has it disappeared? Do you still identify with the body?
Sometimes yes.
पूर्णपणे नाहीसे झालेलं नाही. Is there an end to the scene? To the scene? No. Scene. Okay. Comes there a point that automatically this original state.
Original tape blank. Hence discontinuity of talk.
When you see that some concept, even this awakening state, is there an end to the scene? To the scene? No. Scene of it. Comes there a point that automatically this original state goes out in its glory? Or do you have to look again and again and every time? Or is there just one point where comes an explosion, revelation of your original state? No, again, in your words, what is that? This concept. In another moment that you see that it is a desire is a concept. Yeah?
So the question is there a certain moment, just one moment, everything is clear, and there are no doubts whatsoever? Or is it a progress? You see process, you see lessons with them, slowly you're going to in your natural state.
तो आहे तो हळूहळू असा होतो की एखादा स्फोटक असे एकदा झाला म्हणजे झालं मग परत काही संशय नाही असं होतं का इट इज इन दॅट वन मोमेंट ही सेज देयर इज नो फर्दर डाउट आफ्टरवर्ड्स once for all momentary everything becomes clear.
Immediately comes let's say the doubts into the mind. A question arises then, but I know at the same time that it is nonsense to ask the question, but I can't help it. What to do? See?
What to do about this sprouting of questions?
What should be the attitude then? If it is really this one,
like this attitude that you can do that.
In the conviction you still have questions.
Yes, if
It is not that.
because
He can
when you
see.
give the answer, I see many aspects. Say that's illusion, that's concept.
You can see all that.
And now, in this situation here, Maharaj says, definitely it's one moment. You see forever. In this moment now, I can't help question comes up, but I said, doubt. Is it really so?
ते म्हणतात तरी
तुला तू माझी शंका का म्हणते वाल आणि मन आहे तो भाषा
so long as the vital breath is there so long as the vital breath is there that is so long as you are alive the mind flow will be there the word flow will be there but you don't take it as your doubt whatever thoughts come you don't identify they are your doubts.
What I come from
Therefore I say it like this, you say something and I see in the mind comes something like a doubt, but it is not fanatic,
It's not very strong.
It's like coming
in the weak thought sort of weak
yeah.
मनामध्ये एक
निवृत्तीला कळलं म्हणजे झाला ना मनाचे अर्थ त्यानंतर निवृत्ती झाले
so whatever meaning the mind flow, the thought flow is there, it should be useless to you.
it should happen like that. So far as you are sensitive with
I mean, actually, even the noblest concept, even the noblest thought, is no use whatsoever. Even that.
आणि सुविचार जरी असले तरी निरुपयोगी. सुविचार असले तरी if it is a good thought, noble thought, then you can make use of it on that particular occasion when it is necessary. Otherwise, we are all useless.
याचा वास आहे ना तो कारण काय आहे तो भाषा वाद आहे तो उपयोग न करणे
It is giving an example of the incense stick. So long as the stick is available for burning, the smell will be there.
as long as the
Fragrance will be there. As long as the body and the vital force is there, the mind will be there.
but they don't belong to me.
No, whether to make use of, you have to decide.
Has nothing to do with me.
No. You have to decide whether you have to make use of those thoughts or not.
No, but I see. If you believe in that, there is somebody who's going to use thoughts. I mean, I have nothing to do with thoughts. They are there or they are not there.
विचार तिकडे आहेत किंवा नाही. Yes, what you say is correct. But that should be very clear to you.
Yes.
Dat moet duidelijk, er mag geen
All
verhaal
right,
zijn.
may I continue? Otherwise, there will be one faculty, for instance, one who decides which is a good thought, which is not a good thought. But that's in itself also a thought.
Ja, maar pas op dat je...
Yeah.
Pas op, je gaat...
फिरायला आपण गेलो तर निवडणारा कोणतरी निर्माण होतो तिकडे. चांगले वाईट त्याच्यामधनं काहीतरी आपल्याला काढायचं विचारामधनं. तो एक निवडणारा कोणतरी.
सरकारची संस्थाकडे निवडांवर चालू सरकार संस्थाकडे निवडांवर करून स्वतःच्या
So long as you have doubt about yourself, what you are, then there is a choice between thoughts. But once you know clearly what you are, there is no question. You are not concerned with the thought.
thoughts like I'm not body, and let's say honest consciousness, whatever. I mean, they are thoughts. You may consider them as noble thoughts or pointers, but should not in the end regard those thoughts also as being just ordinary thoughts, which is not me.
En dat doe je zo. Dat doe je zo.
So long as you have doubt whether you are body or not, then the thoughts will be there. But once you are convinced that you are neither the body nor the consciousness, then the thoughts will not appear.
गेल्या आठवड्यात असा भाग झाला स्वप्नात आपण दिसला आणि भेटावं असं असुर इच्छा निर्माण झाली.
It's like I have to force myself to make questions. It makes a little restless, and it's not really intense. I'm not really hard questions, really questions.
No, don't force, sir. There is no force. If you have any question, then only you ask. There is no right. Says, if you don't have any doubts, if you don't have any questions, then you can listen to the talk other people have. And then, if you like it, you can continue.
विवेक पाहिजे असं म्हणतात. आता याचा परमार्थ आणि विवेक याचा काय संबंध?
आम्ही लोक मिळून करतो तुम्ही मन वाचून गाव वाचून आपल्याला लायक शब्द फेकून देऊ. आपल्या स्वरूपाला लायक आपला लायक शब्द असं कधीच मिळणार नाही. शब्दाचा अर्थ आपल्याला लायक मिळणार नाही.
Use of discrimination in spirituality. It is very important. That is what the gentleman asked. He says, Maharaj said that just as you pick out stones from grains, from wheat you take out some things which are not required. Just like that,
thoughts which are useless, you should eliminate. Ultimately, no meaning of any word should be of any use to you. No meaning of the thought should be of no use. That is the ultimate state.
समाज आणि ज्ञान आपण जमाकरण लाईट मध्ये आहे त्याचं रूप नाही काय म्हणजे
In the initial stages, I am not the body, I am also not the mind. I am the vital breath or I am the consciousness. And these two are formless. They don't have any form.
आपणामध्येच आपण जमाते घेत असतो मुख्या पंडित असेल तो कोणी असतो राज होतो म्हणजे त्याचे सगळं विचार त्याच्यामध्ये सामावलेले असतात राज होतोय म्हणजे कोणी असला तरी पण त्याचे विचार त्याच्यामध्ये सामावलेले असतात किती असतात त्याला समजतच नाही आपण आणि विचार.
He says, just as in deep sleep, all the thoughts merge in that person who is sleeping, isn't it? There is no thought, there are no thoughts in deep sleep. Similarly, when the body is given up, what we call as death, what happens is, the vital breath and the consciousness merge in themselves. There is no question of going anywhere, going to hell, heaven, and it is not true. They merge in themselves, that's all.
काय आपल्या रूपमध्ये होईल पाहिजे बरेच उलकापात होत असतात काय आपल्या असं झालं म्हणजे मनही आपल्या रूपमध्ये होतं मग शुद्ध चैतन्य म्हणजे भगवान गुण दोन्ही ते रूपाने असतात ते शांत.
In the beginning, when you are convinced that you are not the body, then slowly you see that you are also not the mind. Then the thought flow has no effect on you. The mental modifications have no effect on you. Ultimately what remains is the consciousness and the vital force.
काय आणखी मग बाजूला गेलं एक बोर्ड निघाले 1000 माणसांनी दिली त्यांचं काय झालं त्याची पंचायत कोणी करत आहे कोण बसली तर त्याची पंचायत करतो पण 1000 माणसं गेली त्यांचं काय झालं त्याची पंचायत करत त्यांचं काय झालं त्यांना माहिती आहे ते पण झालं त्याची काही चौकशी करत म्हणजे काय आहे 1000 माणसांनी जेवण तर त्याची चौकशी केली काय आम्ही प्राण असो.
So long as the identification with the body is there, I am the body concept is there, so long as you are troubled with this concept. All these mental modifications, they trouble you. He is giving an example of suppose a boat carrying some 1,000 people. A steamer carrying some 1,000 people is sunk in water. And suppose all the people are killed, then afterwards nobody questions about them. People who are left over, about them people ask, how are you and all that. But those who are gone, there are no questions.
Nobody knows what happened.
They also don't have any problem. Those who are dead, they also don't have any question for problem.
कोणीच करत नाही करत तुम्ही बद्दल झाला चालवला.
So he has quoted this example. Think about this and be careful, he says. Be attentive, be careful about your attitude.
About the attitude.
कल्पना बरोबर बाईंनी सांगितली की दया माया क्षमा शांती संबंध हे मानवी
प्राण
स्तरावर
असे म्हणजे
पलीकडे काही
आयाने प्राण असे म्हणजे काय तू प्राण म्हणजे ना उनका नहीं हमका आहे हजार मानले समजा शोध कोणी केला त्यांच्याकडे जर त्यांची नोंद आहे का असण्याची काम आहे
तिथे निष्ठुरतेची कल्पना नाही, निष्ठुरतेची निर्दयपणाची कल्पना
काय आहे कोण हे आपल्यावर अवलंबून आहे. प्राण काय आहे कल्याण ज्ञान मंगल ज्ञान सगळं काय चाललं आहे. काळातून प्राण निघून गेला ऊन सुद्धा गेला गाडी बंद पडली मी आमचा कम काय आहे एकदम जाणायचं बाकी सगळं आपल्याकडलं आपण काय आहे की नाही. आपल्याकडलं आपण जन्मापासून आत्मनिर्भर आहे. जन्मपूर्वी आपल्या जवळ आपल्याकडे आपण होतो की नाही हा प्रश्न करू बरोबर. आता जन्म म्हणजे प्राण आणि निर्माण झाला तो मावळला मग आपल्याजवळ आपण काय
आपण आहोत तेच आहोत
काय आहोत
जे काही
काय आहोत
त्रिकोणाला समजणार
तेवढं काय आहे प्राण असं पण काय तिथे गुण आहे गुण म्हणजे ज्ञान आहे. काय आणि प्राण गेला तो गुणही आहे. आपण म्हणजे परमोच्च नावाचा केवळ स्वतःचा ब्रह्माचा लागू नका तो संपणार नाही. कल्पना माणूस असेल तर स्वतःचा भक्त लावा अभ्यास आपण कोण पाणी असू शकतो.
ही आता कल्पना शेड मला लक्षात आली. मी प्रश्न विचारला होता विवेक आणि परमार्थ त्याचा काय संबंध.
हा म्हणजे निवड करणे
ते परमार्थाची निवड करायची
आपली
निवड
मनाला परमार्थाची कोण दाखवायला परमार्थाची निवड करणे. आपल्या सेवा कोणत्या रूपाने आपण असू शकतो. आता या रूपाने आहे म्हणजे दोन रूपाने आहे पण हे तो राहिलं नाही. मग आपल्या सेवाला आपण कोण रूपाने राहिलं वा कोण कोण काही नमुना नाही. मग निर्गुण अंक बाकीचे होते किती नाव आहे निर्वाणानंतर जी नावं आहे त्याचे विश्रांती आहे. आपण हा विषय मारले तर आपण कसा असतो आपण आहे आपण विसरलो मग तो कसा असतो. विश्रांतीचं नाव
परम विसावा त्याला म्हणतात. परम विसावा.
Started with a question, discrimination and paramartha. Paramartha means spirituality, in common parlance spirituality. What is the link between discrimination and spirituality? That was his question. But Maharaj said spirituality means what? Paramartha. Paramartha means the highest meaning, the noblest attainment to be had. What is that? Self-understanding. Abidance in the self, that is the highest. So when we think, discrimination and paramartha, we always think something objective. Spirituality I want to gain. So Maharaj ruled it out, dismissed it by saying self. get the self, understand the self. That is very important. So later on, he was also referring to the qualities of the mind, the noble qualities he touched: compassion, peace, forgiveness. They are great qualities, as enunciated by the prophets. What about that, he said. So Maharaj said, what about that? So long as your beingness is there, you know you are, and your vital breath is there, its expression through the mind are all these qualities. He didn't want to deal with the hair splitting of those qualities. He dismissed that also. He said, you go to the root. Your beingness and the vital breath, so long as vital breath, body and beingness is there, you know you are. Your awareness is there only with these three entities. Then that expression of all those good or bad qualities. He also mentioned about cruelty. Where is the scope for cruelty? Cruelty. Cruelty is also part of that. Expression of the mind, a subsequent event. But primarily you must be. I am. He says when the vital breath creates the body disintegrates, I am gone into oblivion. He says that means in common parlance death. So when beingness goes, where is the noting of that person? Either with him, the one who is gone, he also doesn't know because he is no more. Nor we have any registering of him. He is no more there. So what about that? So how long are you? So long as the vital breath is going, beingness and body is there, until then you are. The feeling of you are without words is there. Vital breath gone, you areness gone. So when this is gone, the ultimate principle always remains. Ultimate you. But that you ultimate, you do not know yourself. That I amness is not there. That always prevails. But this temporary phase of I amness, due to body and vital breath, it has come and it has gone. Ultimate stage. What is that ultimate state? He called it Vishranti. Vishranti has two meanings. Vishranti means utter relaxation, complete rest. And also, he splits the word as it is practiced. Vishranti, forgetting the self, that is forgetting the I amness. That forgetting the I amness state, that means I amness is not felt in that ultimate state. I think Paramavisava, highest type of relaxation. Maharaj said, you add any words you like. But understand this. Stop. Don't meekly accept and keep quiet. You challenge this point. You question me here.
आपण जरी बोलायला त्यांनी बोलून देणार नाही. ऐकलं त्याच्यात तो पण काय निषेध करायचा किंवा चौकीच्या स्वरूपात ज्ञान बोलत त्याच्यावरून बोलू बघून असं बघू मी कान माणसात काय बोललो ते सहन करून बघून असं बघू पण सांगून बघायला सोडवली मला काय ज्ञान आहे त्याला या वृत्तीमध्ये गेला ओळख काय आपली का बोलतो.
He again requests him, it's a dispute. Why reason? If anybody is going to question me, his identity will be the body mind. And mind means whatever he has read or collected, not his direct experience. Direct experience. साक्षात अनुभव घ्यायचा कसा म्हणतो.
साक्षात शब्दाचा अर्थ काय.
What do you mean by direct?
Knowledge are through senses. So direct experience is what to realize it is.
बहुतेक जो अनुभव येतो तो
प्रत्यक्ष आपला प्रत्यक्ष आपणाला आपला प्रत्यक्ष आपणाला म्हणजे माझा अनुभव नाही.
direct, the self directly experiencing the self only. Self directly experiencing the self only, nothing else. Nothing other than
साक्षात्कार म्हणजे काय. प्रत्यक्ष म्हणजे आता आहे.
It means directly I am this.
personality, which is based, as Maharaj said, on this sense of I am, which comes up in the mind, disappears in the mind.
Personality based on I am. What is it?
Yes, this I am-ness, this is what I heard this morning, and now it's a concept which comes up in the mind, or it comes up, no, it disappears, or is it?
It doesn't come in the mind. It is prior to the mind. When you wake up the first thing in the morning, before you know you are, whatever state that is you are. You don't manipulate it by mind, saying that I am. Prior to words.
Right.
Prior to words, you are.
This I am sense is not the ultimate.
No,
No, then I understand right, sure. But it is not coming, you don't need to say I am when you wake up. It's an automatic sense, it's a feeling.
Yeah,
it's
that is I am.
That's right.
Without uttering a word in the mind.
A very basic sense, this I am.
Yes.
It's very basic.
Let me जाणीव.
शब्द उच्चारणच्या बोली तू आहे ती जाणीव नव्हे ती जाणीव नव्हे तुझ्या जागा झाला ती जाणीव आहे.
Before the appearance of this beingness, the feeling that you are, that is not beingness.
Non-beingness.
That is not being.
That is not being. That's not being.
The moment.
That is not knowingness. Wake up. When you wake up, that waking state, when you know you are, without words, that is beingness or consciousness or I amness, what we say. We use these 3-4 words. The knowledge I am.
It has nothing to do with ultimacy, because it's a coming and a going affair.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but something, there must be background. You want to know what is the connection between ultimacy and this?
Right.
What you said?
Right.
तो आणि जाणी ह्याचा संबंध काय विचारतो?
विशेष एवढं कोणत्यामध्ये आहे पण त्याला तळाचं पोहायच ना परम त्याचं जाणं त्याचं तळाचे कोण.
You see, these are all the titles are there. All these words are there. The ultimacy, what you said, consciousness, beingness, mind, etc. Manipulated by words. Beyond the grasp of words.
ही कल्पना साक्षात्काराची बरोबर आपण आपला साक्षात्कार आपल्याला होतो ही कल्पना बरोबर
ओनली कल्पना आहे.
मी आहे
कल्पनेतून कल्पना निर्माण होऊन त्याला नावारूप देऊन हे सर्व चाललेलं आहे. कल्पनेने कल्पना नावे देऊन हा भांडार भरलेला आहे. मूळ कल्पना जे मावळले
सगळ्या मावळ
All this multiplicity, all these variable words, manifestations are from that basic concept I am. But in the ultimacy, let me use your word, in that ultimacy, this I amness merges in. It is submerged into that.
exaggerated idea of I.
What this teaching you mean?
I don't know this I-ness. This I-ness. The business of I am or I. Might lead to some mental reflection.
माझं प्रांत आहे.
वर्ष किती झाले.
What is your age, sir?
61.
65. 61.
मी आणले आणले ते पहिले आणले आज माझा जन्म होणार तिला असं झालं होतं.
He said, one day prior to your birth, did you know that you are going to have a birth?
Obviously not.
खात्रीपूर्वक नाही म्हणतो मला.
हकीकत मला करून असं तर झालं
निश्चित नाही.
माहीत करून काय झालं प्रश्न कशाला देऊ. माझा जन्म होतोय ही कल्पना काय होती मला. आज उद्या माझा जन्म होतोय कल्पना नव्हती.
He had no idea at all that he will be born. It is not so. स्वाभाविक.
हा?
स्वाभाविक.
काय स्वाभाविक?
मला ज्ञान नव्हतं याबद्दल.
मला ही कल्पना नव्हती जन्म मला होणार म्हणून.
आता जो जन्म झाल्याच्या तुला चौकशी केली हे नसताना काय झालं म्हणून मी असल्याचं ज्ञान नसताना मला असं ज्ञान का झालं.
Did you care to inquire as to why that birth happened to you when you didn't know prior to your birth?
I don't know when I was born, when I will die.
मला काय माहित नाही मी केव्हा जन्मलो केव्हा मरणार.
पण तू चौकशी करा केला ना आजच्या दिवसापर्यंत.
Up till now, why didn't you make the inquiry?
काय होणार जगाचा तुला ज्ञान नव्हते तू असलं ते आणि हे ज्ञान निर्माण झालं का आणि कधी कधी करणार तू.
When are you going to make this inquiry?
I have made inquiry.
You didn't know you were, and with the birth, after some time, you knew you were. You didn't know you were. Now you know you are. How did this happen?
नकळ हे असं बोललं मी बोलत असं बोला आता जागा झालं की ऑपरेशन करू नको जायला.
He said a person was sleeping. Next day, when he woke up, he suddenly found a big boil, some swelling, terrific swelling. She inquired about that, investigated, and got himself operated. Like that, from your that condition, no knowing condition, no knowing state, suddenly this knowing state has appeared, a big boil, knowingness. Why you didn't inquire about it?
मला कल्पना झालं ऑपरेशन करून
I have been inquiring. I feel it is a fortuitous concourse of matters.
हे केलं त्याचे चौकशी केली आणि मला असं
कोणाकडे चौकशी केली
विथ हुम डिड यू एन्क्वायर
तुझ्याशिवाय कोण होतं तिथे
माझ्याकडे चौकशी केली
हा तिथं मुंबई
नो टेल मी द फाइंडिंग्स ऑफ युअर एन्क्वायरी.
You don't arrive at any answer. You don't inquire. You don't arrive at any definite answer.
काय उत्तर मिळत नाही स्पष्ट उत्तर मिळत नाही म्हणतो.
आई बाप हे नाव कशाला आलं.
हाऊ डिड दिस टायटल्स मदर अँड फादर कम अबाउट दिस टायटल्स ऑफ मदर अँड फादर
From 10,000 generations.
10,000 पिढ्यापासून
काय बोलणं आहे उत्तर आहे तुला नकळत कळते पण कशाला याच्याबद्दल विचारतो कळते पण आलेलं नाही मजाव केला असतं.
I am not, your reply is not relevant. I am driving at the point, from no knowing state, this knowing state has appeared. How did it happen?
माहिती नाही तेच माहिती करून घ्यायची.
When you say you don't know,
माहिती आहे घेऊन चाललाच कुठे
you have to get to know that.
ही माहिती घेऊन चाललाच कुठे म्हणलं हजारो माणसाचे बोर्ड उडले काय पत्ता त्यांच्याकडे स्वतःची नोंद आहे तर बाबाकडे काय आहे बोर्ड मुडावी म्हणतात एवढं पलीकडे काय दाखवली केलं काय सावधान सोडली.
What is use of collecting all information of this world and taking it where? He said, with the sinking of a ship, thousands of people got suffered and they are drowned. What information is there? They are gone.
Information is death. That is the only inevitability.
हे तुला गप्पत करत नाही.
That is inevitable.
जन्म नव्हता हे जाणतो हा गेल्यावर मानतो का मयत होता तो नसता का जन्म झाला मला जन्म नव्हता आकार नव्हता हे जो जाणतो तो मेलेला जाणतो काय.
The one who has the firm conviction that he had no birth or death, can he know about death? Can a person who is already dead, does he know about death?
We will have to ask him.
त्याला विचारलं पाहिजे मेलेल्या माणसाला.
कोण विचारलं तू ना
Who is going to ask?
तू
You alone.
कोण विचारण्याची गरज
So the question doesn't arise. For a dead man to know his condition, the question is irrelevant.
मेलेल्या माणसाला त्या मरण कसं होतं ह्या विचारात प्रश्नच नाही.
अरे पण तू आता नकळत कळते मला आला आहे तर तिथे पोरगी लहानाला येते त्याची तर त्याचा काय विचार कर तुला कळते पण कसं काय आलं आहे आणि कसं नाही काय आहे तिथे
अननोईंगली
तुला आहे जे कळते काय आहे बघ
unknowingly this knowingness has appeared. That means you are. Inquire about that. Just like a girl, comes of age spontaneously, suddenly. Like that, out of nothingness, no I amness has appeared. How did this thing happen?
कुणी खूप हजेरी कधी तुला जाणून होती का जन्मापूर्वी या जन्मापूर्वी किती हजेरी तुला कधी जाणून होती का
Prior to your birth, did you ever experience your existence, your I amness, your presence? कदाचित नसेल म्हणतो.
तथापि कसं का म्हणतो संदिग्ध का
ऑब्विसली नॉट.
खात्रीने नाही म्हणतो.
नवचित का म्हणतो
Why don't you emphatically say, I did not?
What happened in states of which we have no knowledge is an idle.
ते फुकट आहे ते जे आम्हाला काय माहिती
माहिती आहे का तुझ्या का पोटात घेऊन बसला आहे मला त्याच्या दिसला
So whatever in the stage of knowingness, whatever you know of, why are you embracing that? Because finally you are going to die.
तू कोणाला का तुला माहिती नाही जन्मजन्म ज्ञान नाही आणि हे नाजन लेपुण्य पाप कोणाकडून म्हटलं कसं करतात मला हे वाटतं
Prior to birth you didn't know you were. You are going to die. So why are you embracing and clasping all